And a very good evening to you all, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Black and White United Show. I'm your host, Andreas. Thank you so much for tuning in with me this evening. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the released opening round fixture, who we're playing against, and also we're going to touch on what they announced today in the wildcard round. It's good to be back. I had a bit of time off. Roll the intro.
0, 1. Let's get started.
So, yes, I had just a couple of weeks off just from doing some of the YouTube stuff. The Instagram and the Twitter and stuff was still going a little bit here and there, but I just needed some time to sort of just take a step back and concentrate on work a little bit because obviously, got to pay the bills and, just spend some time with the family. Went to the Oasis concert as well. That was on Melbourne Cup Day, Melbourne Cup Day night sort of thing. That was just the most phenomenal concert that I've ever been to. So for those who went, drop a comment if you went because it was just unreal. Look, there's been a fair bit that's happened of more of the recent days, so to speak, especially today with the announcement of the wildcard round. First, we'll touch on the opening round side of things. And for those of you that aren't subscribed to the channel, I strongly urge you to subscribe. Back in the end of August, I think it was, we did a episode of the Share and Stand, and we said that, St Kilda are looking at wanting to play against Collingwood in opening round. And lo and behold, it happened. I checked the group chat out with the boys from the Share and Stand, and we said it again in the start of September. And funnily enough, right after we discussed it, Caroline Wilson said something on the agenda setters about potentially Collingwood playing St Kilda on the Sunday of the Labor Day weekend. So, there's all a bunch of, are you sure this is that? I'm not going to put up the group chat conversation, but you get my drift. So we get the breaking news here at Black and White United. We get the good stuff. We get the goss. We get the ins. We get the outs. We get what's happening. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because 2026 is going to be such a massive year for this channel. We're gonna go pretty high. We've got so much stuff in the books ready to go. We've got stuff we're working on at the moment now. It's so exciting. When I'm not posting a video, I'm working on, what's going to happen next, and it's just going to be awesome. So let's just cut straight to it. Collingwood, or St Kilda versus Collingwood, MCG. Look, I'm wrapped with it. I'm disappointed that we are playing in opening round, and obviously the non-Collingwood supporters, they're going to watch this, they're going to start saying, because you went to GW as well, but we travel just as much as everybody else, and we say this in all the time, we travel just like every other Victorian side. We might get more games in the MCG, but just because you can't fill the stadium, that's not our problem. So, and then, you've got another club, and you can add this. I'm not going to include Anzac Day because it's something that we've created with Essendon, but, the Big Freeze, Easter Thursday, and any other club that wishes to have, some sort of blockbuster game. The Melbourne club that they want to have, which is a blockbuster game. They want to play Collingwood at the MCG. Bulldogs in 2025 was, the perfect example of that. They wanted to do their celebration game and they wanted to do it against Collingwood at the G. Why? Because they get more people through the gates, higher TV ratings, and we just bring in the money. So regardless, it might be our away game, but we've just got more fans there. So again, the National Bank of the AFL, Collingwood, has come to the rescue. They've said yes. And look, I'm pretty cool playing against St Kilda, at the G, better than playing them at Marvel for a big game. I think it's pretty cool. So it is what it is. I just wish that, we could start our season in round one. If not, do an opening round, but just play everybody. Just play everybody in opening round and make it a round one without saying it's a round one. Call it opening round, and then you kick off Carlton and Richmond on the Thursday night, the traditional Thursday night round one. And it's probably the one non-Collingwood game of the season that I look forward to the most is seeing that game. And I think that's sort of like the staple of the start of the season. It's the stamp, the final stamp that the season started as soon as you see Carlton and Richmond play. round one at the G. So, I mean, it is what it is. But look, that's that. I don't really have any major opinion on it. I just think that we're always going to play opening round because there's a club that needs to play against Collingwood to make the money, and this one is St Kilda. So 2025 was the Western Bulldogs. So it is what it is. But let's get to the nitty-gritty stuff, the wildcard round. Okay, so obviously Andrew Dillon had a conversation with the media today. Mitch Cleary was pumping out the news. I'm just going to go off what's on the Collingwood website, and then I'll give you my opinion. I've said my opinion on a few times on videos and also on the Sharon stand, and I think Hatters also had a really good opinion on it. There's some parts of it I don't agree with, and the traditionalist of the game in me is still a bit up in the air about it. But there are some points in this that, and I know people aren't going to agree, especially the older crowd, and that's fine. And I understand that because I'm 50-50 on it. But if I had to choose one way to go, I would definitely have a wild card round. And I'll just read what they said on the website first. So it says the AFL has announced that the 2026 Toyota Premiership season will feature an expanded final series with the introduction of a wildcard finals round. The introduction of a wildcard finals round will now mean 10 teams will remain in contention for premiership honours after the conclusion of the Toyota AFL Premiership home and away season. Played across the traditional pre-finals bye weekend, it will feature 2 elimination matches where 7th will play 10th and 8th will play 9th. The highest ranked winner of the 2 matches will then secure 7th place, and the other winner will secure 8th place heading into the first full week of the finals. AFL CEO Andrew Dillon said the introduction of a wildcard finals round was great for fans and clubs alike. We're thrilled to deliver fans an extra weekend of finals footy, while giving more clubs and players the opportunity to play finals footy to win a premiership. The last part was the wildcard finals round reflects our ongoing commitment to involve our competition structure, building on recent additions like Gather Round and AFL Origin, ensuring our game continues to grow. This also means that all teams who finish in the top 8 of 10 will host a home final, giving fans a chance to see their club play at home in September. Teams that finish in the top 6 will have a week off after round 24 ahead of playing an elimination or qualifying final. Okay, let's start with the bad. The bad part of all this is if you finish in the top 4, forget the top 6. If you finish in the top 4, having the week off after you win a qualifying final is amazing. We know that as Collingwood supporters over the years, we know that you regroup, you do whatever. It didn't work out for us 100% this season, but the pre-finals bye worked really well for us to go up to Adelaide, which feels like an eternity ago, but it actually wasn't. But that worked really well for us, okay? So the next part is if you were to win, so you've got a week off before the finals, and then you win, and then you've got another week off. You look at it from the teams that finish in the bottom half that play the wild card, you go continuous, okay? The negative part is if any of those teams actually ended up playing in a semi-final or a preliminary final and they went all the way through, the top 4 teams are having week off playing. They're not going to be as match hardened. So I personally think coming in later towards the season, that's a bit of an advantage for the teams who have finished towards the bottom part of the final series, which then allows them to have a genuine chance. Now, a lot of people are saying, and I agree with this part, you're not going to win the flag, from 9th or 10th and think. That's fine. Even Collingwood supporters will say that. Cast your eyes back 24 months ago, or 12 months ago, whatever it was, when we beat Brisbane in 2024, and then we smashed Melbourne in the last game of the season, and we just missed out on finals by percentage. If we had beaten Sydney in 2024, where Dan McSay should have got that 50-metre penalty, we play finals. If the wildcard round was introduced then, and let's just say, for example, we didn't win that game like we did and we finished 9th, we're red hot. We play Carlton in a wildcard elimination final. That's massive. So then you go to the good part about it. You had games this season like Melbourne and St Kilda, where Wanganeen Malira, took that screamer, kicked the winning goal after the siren. You're going to see more games like that because teams that are fighting, let's say from I'm going to say from 10th to 16th, right? Let's say it's all within 1 or 2 games, 4 to 8 points, maybe 12, going into the last month of the season. If the team who's like fourth last has got to play the bottom 3 sides or teams around that mark, it's going to be like you're watching the relegation battle in the Premier League. These clubs have something to play for. Forget the first round picks. If they find their form, it's going to be exciting footy. Now, I'm a purist. I hate a lot of change. I hate the rule changes and stuff like that. But I just feel that introducing the wild card round is going to help teams in 2 ways. It's going to give the bottom sides a chance to actually push for something and play for something. So you're going to get less dead rubbers. So football becomes more interesting still regardless. The second part is, from a Collingwood's perspective, the cliff's coming. The cliff's coming. Oh, it's coming this, it's coming that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we finish 8th. Actually, we finished 9th in 2026. We play against, who could it be? We play against St Kilda. We could play against Melbourne. Even I think they'll finish lower. We could play against the Bulldogs. I hope not. We could play against anyone, right, who's in that bottom half of the ladder. Port Adelaide, for example. All of a sudden we win. The next week, we're going to play against another team who we probably already would have beaten during the season. A Fremantle or someone like that. Next thing you know, we're finished 9th, but we're in a semi-final. You've got to look at it, and I know people aren't going to agree with me, and that's perfectly fine. It's all good. I just think that for us, the wildcard round is really good, especially for season 2026, considering that I don't think we're going to finish in the top 4. Personal opinion, and people don't have to can get pissed off. I'm never going to lie to people on the channel. I'm always going to be upfront and honest. I think we will finish anywhere between 6th and 8th. I think that's where we're probably going to be for 2026. The year after, I think it's going to be completely different. Now, I want you guys to make sure you drop a comment so you can voice your opinion on this, because I feel like it's going to be heavily towards the no. I don't want it, this, that. But I do think introducing this within a couple of years, and probably even by 2027, it's going to be the norm. It's going to be like there's nothing different. The other aspect I want people to think about is, I suppose, the good part of Cyclone Alfred at the start of this year. The good part about it was that we did get to see, a fill-in game during that week off with Essendon and Gold Coast, albeit it wasn't a competitive game. It would have been better if it was competitive, because the Bulldogs were riding on that, and that's not going to happen this season. You fill the void of football for that week that's gone missing. You feel, that whole, my team's finished in the top part of the finals. They're not playing the wild card. You've got a week off, or you finish in the top 8 and there's no football. You've got that football void there, and they are knockout finals. You play. Imagine if it was like a Western Bulldogs GWS at the MCG. I mean, you're getting 70,000 there. The Bulldog supporters come out of the woodwork. The GWS fans travel, or if it's GWS versus Bulldogs, they pack out NG Stadium, and there's a full rivalry game in a knockout final. I mean, there's appetite in that, especially when there's supposed to be no football that week. So if fans can look at it from that perspective, I think it's really good. Now, as Collingwood supporters, if we had to play that week, if we were to lose it, we're going to say we hate it. If we win it, we're going to say it's the best thing ever. I mean, let's be real about it, yeah? I understand the older crowd are traditionalists, and I'm very much, I can see that point of view, and I suppose I'm not 50-50 on it. I am for the wild card, but I understand and I appreciate and I accept the arguments of the no's, don't do it. It is what it is. I would prefer if they did stuff like this and bring back State of Origin than change the rules every single year. Give us a 5-year gap where no rules of the game change. Just give us 5 years, and then you can tweak something if you need to. I think that's what fans want, is just some consistency with what we're doing. I think that the wild card round was always going to happen. The opening round stuff, I mean, I would prefer if they did scrap that, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's more footy. I mean, we're not even halfway through the off season, and we're dying for it. Preseason starts soon. The draft's on next week. We are going to be doing an episode of the Share and Stand on Sunday, I do believe, a live episode. So that should be fantastic. I do apologise to everyone that I did take a couple of weeks off, but as I said at the start, I just needed that refresher. I just needed to step away, gather everything together, have a bit of a breather, spend time with the wife and kids, and just do some work stuff. Went to a concert, amazing. But yeah, I miss you guys heaps. Make sure you drop a comment. Make sure you tell me what you think. Call it as you see it. And as always, scale the pies.